I want to ask my Christian family, if you were given £1,000,000, would you deny your faith in Jesus Christ? Would you? It's a kind of, you get these movies, modern day movies, where you are asked these trick questions. Would you, what member of your family would you kill? Which is the least favorite for X amount of money or for what purpose? And it's a very tough dilemma that people face in these movies. Well, if somebody offered you £1,000,000, would you deny Jesus Christ? And already you know what the response is going to be. I will never, almost like Judas, I will not Judas, sorry, Peter, I do apologize. Peter, I will never deny you, Lord, never. And in the end, Peter denied Jesus 3 times. Three times, but I'm going to ask you the question, and that is, would you, for 1,000,000 or even 5,000,000, whatever, deny your faith? Now, many people, they would respond, what I just said, screaming and shouting, etc. Methinks he doth protest too much, says William Shakespeare. The more you claim that you would never do something, the more you will. And it's easy when you are not faced with that kind of level of, if you like, trials or temptations or tribulation, whatever. When you're not faced with it, it's easy to pretend that you would not take the bait. No way! What's that favorite hymn? I'd rather have Jesus and silver and gold. I'd rather, give me Jesus any day. Then you think, wow, these people sound strong, that they walk in the road of the cross. Nothing can change them. Nothing can bend their views, their values, their faith. And you think to yourself, wow, this is strong. But then that money isn't there. It's only an idea. Anybody can resist an idea. Anybody can resist an idea. But when it comes down to it, can you really? And I use the money as a metaphor for other things, but I thought I would grab your attention with money. Because everybody says, oh, no way, I'd rather live in poverty. Oh, no, I'd rather go to prison. Really? When you begin to look at the Christian church today, they're not selling out Jesus for £1,000,000. They're selling him out to the LGBTQ agenda, to other sexual immorality, other compromising, yet they use the same tone back in the 80s, back in the 90s, back in 2000, when this level of persecution against the church did not exist. So therefore it was quite easy to say, oh, I will follow God, until the right pressure is added onto you, the right pressure. And then suddenly you begin to realize, wait there, with all this shouting and screaming, when the right trial and the right tribulation is put before you, you begin to compromise. Well, maybe for 500,000, well, maybe if I can send my son or daughter to the right school, maybe I'll compromise and embrace the LGBTQ agenda. Maybe I'll embrace the trans agenda. Maybe I'll compromise these parts of the Bible. This is no different to selling Jesus out. But you're doing it with a smile. You're trying to survive. So you're changing like a chameleon changing his spots. Is a chameleon? You're changing your spots. You're changing your color. Like a chameleon, like a leopard changing his spots. can't change his spots. So you're forever being a chameleon, forever changing and swapping and watering down biblical values. Why? For the simple reason, you might say, I will never do this. Well, you already have done. When you've compromised, you've already sold Jesus out. Might not be for £1 million, but who's to know if that kind of temptation was put in your way? You've already sold him out for LGBTQ. You've already sold him out for other, look what they were pushing Donald Trump as savior of the world. They were pushing Donald Trump as God's man. Look what happened. And the reason being, Donald Trump put money, or where they going? Donald Trump put money into the church's pockets. Put money in it, so they were willing to sell him out, sell out Jesus for money. Yeah, these are the same people who will stand in the pulpit and declare, I will die for my faith. I will never. Yet, when they come, this is what same thing Peter did, fighting Peter. Lord, I will never deceive you. Lord, I will never betray you. Lord, I will stand by you no matter what trials, tribulation, or temptation come my way. And you know something? Jesus says, I tell you, you will deny me not once, not twice, but you will deny me 3 times, 3 times before the cock even crows. You will deny me 3 times. We all think in our own minds that we are in control of our destiny, our mortal natures, our greed, our carnal nature, our compromising self. But when it comes down to it, the human flesh takes over. It's all been well that we say, you meet up every week and you whip each other up into an emotional frenzy. It works then. There's no trials or tribulation. There's no testing or temptation. So it works then. But what happens when you put $1 million, £1 million there? What happens? When the real test is there. Already, many people have compromised in one way or the other, and it is the same people who says that, Lord, Lord, I will never betray you. I will never compromise you. Look at the state of the church today, and you can see what the church is about: money, prosperity. Say amen for money and say amen for God's going to bless your business. They've sold Jesus out. Which is why Jesus says, in the last days will I find faith. Narrow is the way that lead to life. Narrow. Look how big these mega churches are. Look at T.D. Jakes and Creflo Dollar and Pete and Joel Osteen. Single-handedly, their church is packed with thousands of members. Even Oprah Winfrey loves Joel Osteen and T.D. Jakes, yet she's a Satanist and a witch. Which is why Jesus says, narrow is the way that leads to life, and few they be that find it. Few they be that find it. Yet these prosperity preachers, everybody's saying there's many ways to God. It's okay. Jesus is lying. There's many ways to the Father. Many ways. Take your £1 million. It doesn't matter. You still have your faith. Sell him out. You still have your faith. And this was happening now. So it's all been well saying, no, I wouldn't take it. From the time you compromise, from the time the yeast leavened the lump, you failed. If you deny me before men, I will deny you before the Father. If you're ashamed of me, you know, you cannot claim you love God. You're sitting down with Oprah Winfrey, who denied Jesus. You're sitting down with all these Satanists like Lady Gaga. If you deny me before men, I will deny you before the Father. Look when Joel Austin denied Jesus on Larry King program, yet the church still supported him. Look when he did the satanic Baphomet sign, had the church still support him. In fact, they attacked you for saying, look, my brother, what you're doing is wrong. Compromising to such a degree that they must have opened that suitcase full of money and says, Lord, I will betray you.